What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again, and this week on the official news side, we've got a few different things to talk about. Starting us off, we have Nato Vizard with his continued updates to Madrigal's lighting. Yeah, not much to show off here, unfortunately, but pretty neat looking nonetheless. Beyond that, we'll just kind of keep skipping on. He's got Colo here, so we've got a few new screenshots of that as well. Getting to see that with a couple different weather patterns, of course, kind of the dreary, deserty looking stuff that it always is, but we've got a little bit of rain and stuff too, with kind of a misty look to get a better idea what that looks like with inclement weather. That's really all we have to show off for Nato Vizard this week. Skipping on over to Zephyr Souza, Zephyr has continued to model the female civilian, so we get some idea of what the clothing and stuff's going to look like. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one, and clothing just looks very much modern day. I mean, it's a cool idea. Like I said, I'm sure we might see like UNSC Marine stuff. Or Army or something in the not too distant future for it. But yeah, right now as a civilian, it doesn't really feel like it fits into the Halo universe. Of course, it's still very early on, and that's very much prone to change. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that develops out. Nonetheless, I'm pretty interested to see where they go with that one. And yeah, that's all I have for Zephyr Souza. So firing right on along, we've got the dog working on the Drake class. Now this is probably going to be the biggest bit of news for the update stuff today. We've got the Drake class in-game, so we've got some renders outside of game, but yeah, the biggest stuff is in-game stuff. So we've got the engine pods or bays or whatever you want to call them in-game. You've got some guys in there, kind of better idea of scaling, stuff like that. So that's pretty awesome stuff there. I'm pretty excited to see those stuff in game. We've also got some shots of a mocked up bay to give you a better idea how big the entrance to the bay will be for the Pelican. Pretty large. You know, it might be a little bit daunting for some people at first, but it gives you a fairly good amount of clearance. And then yeah, we've got some shots of it down on Stratus, on the Stratus airfield. Now the shots of it here on Stratus, obviously it's missing its engine bay, it's missing its interior, and it's missing its bridge. So there's a lot of things. This is just part of the exterior mocked up. Kind of interesting though, gives you a much better idea of the scale of this thing once again. Pelican by it for comparison, and of course, you know, the airfield and its buildings. This thing's fairly large. It would be a little bit better to have a person for kind of scale comparison, but I mean, you do see those big hangars. I don't know what kind of hangars they're supposed to be, but the big soft hangars that they've got on the Stratus airfield and the tower and stuff should give you kind of an idea of how big this thing is, because I'm pretty sure that's touching the ground, or at least really darn close to touching the ground. And yeah, it's pretty darn big. And a couple of interior shots of the hangar there as well. And then we've got some additional rooms being shown off. Now, bear in mind, these rooms have changed a few times already, so I've gone ahead and I've just listed out some stuff for what the dog had posted on there in some text, so I added some text to these pictures. The first one is the forward compartments of the ships. So the number 1 is the cryo bay. 2 and 3 are patient rooms in the center there. 4, which kind of wraps around those 2 rooms, is the medical section. And then above that's the combat information center. There's also a room behind 5. I thought that would be like the weapons center, which I thought should be in the CIC. But it sounds like somebody was saying that is supposed to be a like slip space room. I'm not really sure if that's where the slip space engine's going to be or not. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, because that was originally kind of where they had planned to have the, like I said, the weapons bay. Beyond that, we've got the rear section of the ship as well. So once again, we've got this number 1 through 8 in this case. 1 being the armory. You can see a little bit of a blue drawing kind of sketched on there, the outline of what will be a eventual room expansion, which hasn't been completed yet. It looks like there will be a door with a secondary section for the armory in the back there. 2 will be the gym right next to that. 3 will be the Marines Bay for, I'm guessing, just getting ready for missions, so lockers and stuff like that. 4 is for the ODST. 5 is the ODST's drop pod room. 6 is the commons room. So, you know, just basically where everybody hangs out and stuff. 7 is latrine and showers. Blue, once again, planned expansion out for that. And 8 up in the top is the mess hall. And then we've got a couple more shots of the ship from a different angle. This one shows off the top of the ship and what will be a maintenance hatch or secondary ingress into the ship. So basically the top of the ship will have a little hatch that'll pop open that you can get up on the outside of the ship and move around that way for, you know, like I said, maintenance purposes or boarding the ship from a different angle. But as far as Operation Trebuchet goes, that is all the official news this week, so we have side mods to talk about. In this case, side mods, I don't have a whole lot to say. We do have OpCan 3.0 showing off some more new units. In this case, we are showing off the URA Battlejumpers, or more specifically, as Burgess lists them, the URA Battlejumpers, which are, you know, obviously based off the Halo books, the Halo lore. So this version, obviously a little bit different than what Zephyr Souza kind of concepted out with these guys, because these are something we've never actually seen before. Burgess's looks like he wanted to keep that full face mask idea. It was something he liked too, but his stick a little bit more close to what he has for battle jumper uniforms as far as the armor goes. The helmets look like a little bit more of a standard Marine helmet with I don't know, more of a sci-fi, or, you know, I'm not really quite sure how to describe the helmet. It looks familiar, but very much obviously different from what Zephyr did. Zephyr's felt very heavily kind of based off the ODSTs, whereas this one feels like it's based off of something I can't quite place. At any rate, guys, that is all the news for this week. I'm only going off a couple hours of sleep, so I'm going to head out now. As always, like, you know, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and let me know in the comments below what you look forward to most from this week's update, and of course the mod in general. Alright guys, take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.